Crushing the meta.
A big welcome to you all to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta, and I'm D-Boy. So, last time I made the deck profile on the Bad End Dragon with the ogels, and some people were like, what could this deck do? I don't understand how to play this deck. It's too old. How does this deck work? D-Boy, how could you say that you could make 12 attacks with this deck? We don't understand. I will show you. I will show you a combo that could do 15 to 16 attacks in your break right turn. So first of all, if you haven't seen the deck profile yet, I advise you to go and watch that first and then come back to this video, which I will put the link in the description section below for you guys to watch. First of all, how does the deck work? Well, normally you rely on your Mason and your Heat element to get you the Bad End Dragon to your hand if you don't already have him. If you already have him, then you don't need to put the pressure because you don't want to counterblast too much. So let's say you have him and you ride into him, so you don't have the Heat element anymore on the field. So what you will be doing is you'll be wasting your time and your opponent's time until you get to 6 or 5 damage. So the combo that we're doing today is on 5 damage. How do you do so? Well, you stride multiple times to get hand advantage. Like your favorite stride to do in this deck is of course the Merendol, because you play the tier. The Merendol will flip the Sea Breeze, and from there you get the Crane Elementals in your G-Zone. You could always go Agrius. The Agrius will give you even more hand. Let's say you have the tier in your hand, so you could always get the Counterblasts back. Then you could do like Agrius on first try and try to get the Crane Elementals face up using your G-Guardians. But most of the time, it's really easy to get up to 4 Crane Elementals face up because you stride into Merendol and you G-Guard 2 times. Let's say in Lioness, the Lioness will flip one of your Crane Elementals, and from there you have let's say 3 or 4 Crane Elementals in the G-Zone. So the combo that we will do today, let's say we have 4. You could also do it with 3, then you have 1 less attack or 2 less attacks. So yeah, let's say we have 4 Crane Elementals face up in the G-Zone because we stride first into Merendol and we G-Guarded twice. 1 Lioness and 1 normal Crane Elemental G-Guardian, or 2 Lionesses or 2 Crane Elementals, doesn't matter. If it takes too long, you could always go to Bruce to just pressure them and he doesn't cost you Counterblast. So mostly I'd like to go to Agrius, but Bruce also works, and you will always be able to go for Dirty Piccolo to just fill up your field and get the counter charges back by calling the tier. There's of course the other stride, which is of course the good end. Not in this video, I'm not gonna talk about him. If you really want to see the combos with this card, then I will make another video to talk about him, because he is a whole nother game plan by himself. So let's say you have your 5 damage and you have your 3 or 4 Crane Elementals in your G-Zone. So this is normally how your field would look like. Sometimes you have more boosters, more units on the field, but this is normally how your field would look like. You have 1 booster from last time, and you have, let's say, your starter still because you need him later on. Could give you 1 more attack and more power. So this is how it looked like. Now, from here, of course, you would like to break right. So you break right on the top of your Bad End Dragon. When you break right, you activate the break right skill, which, of course, if you watch the other video, you know what he does. He gives all of your Regards attack an extra 10k, and he does give him the extra 10k as well. So we will be using dices just to make it easier for you guys to understand. So let's say he has a 10k. From here, you Legion. So you get your Legion mate, which is the Frozen Ogle. And I always leave the Bad End Dragon right there. So my opponent would understand that I did break right this turn, and it looks really nice like this. Now, the Frozen Ogle right here. So the 10k from the Bad End Dragon, still have that. And from now on, you would like to fill up your field. The cards that you really need in your hand are the Winkiller Miseries, the ogles, any motherfuckers, or power flickers, whatever you want to call them, and a tier or two. So let's say we have one tier, one power flicker, two miseries, and two ogles. Let's say we have like this, which is really easy because you do have a lot of draw triggers in this deck, so you do get a lot of hand advantage. And these kind of units, like the Frozen Ogle, you could get him early game and you could pressure with him, but most of the time he will end up in your hand. So yeah, let's say we have it like this, which is really not that easy to get off. So this is your hand. Let's say you have 2 more other cards or 3 more other cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards in hand because you have a lot of damage, so you didn't really defend it a lot or guard it. And you have 2 draw triggers or 1 draw triggers in the damage zone. Sometimes you end up with even 3. So you do have a lot of hand advantage. Then the cards that you want to call is the Winkiller Misery, boosted by the Moodmaker. Very important to put the Moodmaker right here. And you could get the Frozen Ogle or the Power Flicker right here. It's up to you. Let's say we start up with the Power Flicker. It's better to start up with him because he attacks for 26 by himself. Now, because you are in Legion, all of your units that attack and from the break ride will get an extra 15k. So, the first attack, you attack with the Power Flicker, or the Motherfucker, whatever you'd like to call him. So the Motherfucker will attack for 26 by himself, so let's write that down. So the first attack was 26. 2 skills will activate at the same time. His skill, it's an auto ability at the end of the battle, and their skill, or the skill of Bad and Dragger, which gives the power, it's also at the end of the battle. So you activate their skill first to put him back to your deck, and then you'll activate his skill to counterblast 1 and call something from your hand. And now you will call the Ogle. The Ogle will get an extra 2k from the Power Flicker, and he will attack for 26. So that's another 26 to their Vanguard. Activating the Ogle skill, goes to your soul, you counterblast 1, you'll call something from your deck. And now you could call the Power Flicker back again. You will attack. It's another 26. Then you go to the bottom of the deck, counterblast 1. So let's write another 26 down. So this is the third attack. Are you keeping up? And then unit that you could call is another Ogle, but from your hand, not from your deck. So let's say you call another Ogle. So we have 2 Ogles in our soul. We've already used 1 Ogle and 2 Power Flickers. This Ogle also get an extra 2k, so we'd attack for it another 26, which will counterblast 1 as well. Activating his skill to go to your soul, and now you could call the Power Flicker back again. Another 26 to your opponent's Vanguard, and then you'll activate the skill for the Power Flicker, welcome them back to your deck, and you will call the tier. Depending on how much Crane Elementals or how many Crane Elementals you have face up in your G-Zone, Soul Blast 2, and you'll counter charge. As we said, we have 4 Crane Elementals in our G-Zone. In most situations, so we will get the counter charge of 4. The tier get the extra 2k, but the 2k doesn't really matter a lot in this situation, because the tier will attack for 21 or 23 using their skills. So, let's say 23. And the tier will go back to the deck. From here, attack with the Misery, activating her skill, put 1 card from your hand into the soul, so this is a 31, and you are able to call another Power Flicker. Misery will attack for 31, as we said, and then she goes to the bottom of the deck. And then you attack with the Ogle, activating the Ogle skill, counterblast of 2, 1 card from your hand into the soul, and now you're able to call a Power Flicker, or you're able to call the Ogle. To be sure, you call the Ogle. but it doesn't really matter, because even calling the power flicker will give you the same attacking pattern, because you still have the misery in your hand. But let's say you call the frozen ogle, or let's say you're very lucky, you call the power flicker and you drive check the frozen ogle. That could also work. There are some situations that you could drive check the frozen ogle, and let's say you drive check a schemer. Could also work. But if you think, well, no, I'm sure of myself that I'm not that lucky, then you call the ogle to make sure that the combos would work. From your drive check, you get, let's say, a draw trigger. So you give one of your units an extra 5k. Could go to him or to him. Let's say we give it to him. And you draw into a Devil Dome. And this situation would be very nice if you drew into a tier or a power flicker. But if you're not that lucky and you don't get them, then you don't get them. If you do, that's perfect. So let's say you get a tier. Now, from this case, you have the power flicker. First, you have, of course, the 35 of your finger. So don't forget that to write it down. So that's 35. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 8th attack. You have already used 2 ogles, and this is your last ogle. Now you attack with the power flicker. This is 31, because we got the trigger. Power flicker will go back to the deck. Counterblasting 1, calling something from your hand. And that's when the misery will come in action. Or the tier, if you're that lucky to get the tier in your drive check. The tier skill will activate, soul blasting the 2 cards that you put in your soul. Normally you do soul blast the ogles as much as you can because you want them in the drop zone. You could legion them back next turn. But I want to keep them there to show you that I've used all the 4 ogles. Sometimes you end up with 1 ogle in damage zone, you have 1 attack less. This is the most, not the best situation, but this situation that I have used multiple times. So yeah, after attacking with the Vanguard, you attack with the power flicker, which was an attack of 31, and then you get the tier. The tier skill will activate soul blasting 3 or 2 and counter charging 4. So you have your damage to work with. The tier will attack, so that's an attack of 23 again, putting him to the bottom of the deck, activating the skill of the Mega Analyzer because something went to the bottom of the deck, goes into your soul. You may bind and call one of your units, and that's why the Mood Maker is really good and behind your misery. The Mood Maker will get an extra 3k from the skill of the Mega Analyzer, and from his skill he gets an extra 4k. So he gets an extra 7k, which will make him 14k attacker, 24 with his skill, and 29 with his skill. So this is 29 to your opponent Vanguard. After that, he will go to your deck, giving one of your other units an extra 4k, which is the Ogle. The Ogle will attack. This attack will be, that's 24, 25, 27. So that's 27 to your opponent Vanguard. You counterblast 1. You put the Ogle to your soul. And now you will get the power flicker again. The power flicker will attack for 26. Counterblasting 1. It doesn't matter which you put them right here or right there. Let's say you put them right here, so that's 26, goes to the bottom of the deck, and you will call you 1 card from your hand, which of course you still have the 1 misery. It's very important to have still the 1 misery, otherwise you will have to do it in a different way. You will have to call the misery from your deck and not the power flicker. The misery gets an extra 2k, but it really doesn't matter anymore. So this attack will go for 23, or 33 actually. Activating the misery skill to counterblast 1. Put the extra card that you have from your hand to your soul, and you could call something which would be the power flicker again. So this was 33. So you use the bottom of your deck. And this attack for 26. Counterblast 1 again. And now you could call something from your hand. This would be your last attack. You'll go to the bottom of the deck. If you drive checked one more, if you drive checked one more flicker, as I said before, in place of the double dome, then you could have even one more attack. So let's say you drive checked him, he goes to the bottom of the deck, you call another power flicker, the power flicker will attack, counterblast 1, and call anything that you have in your hand, even if it's like another tier or another, even if it's a draw trigger, it'll still be enough. So let's say you have something like a Mason, or just a draw trigger, the weakest draw trigger that you have in your deck. We'll get an extra 4k. So that's 33 from your misery. The misery called a power flicker, that's 26, and you call another power flicker, so that's another 26, and you have this, which this is 6, that's 21. So that's actually the whole combo. Like, it depends on the counterblasts that you work with. You need to set it up, and you end up with the frozen ogles in your drop zone or in your soul, and you end up like with only one booster on the field, and you attack now. Like, I've made the note right here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 attacks. You have made 17 attacks with the combo that I showed you right now. And maybe it's not the best situation that you have, but still, you could pretty easily make 14, like 10 to 16, 17 attacks. And this attack pattern was like 26. First attack was 26, second attack another 26, then 26, then 26, 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 26 at the start, because you used 2 ogles, 2 power flickers, and from there you still have 23, 31, 35, 31, 23, 29, 27, 26, 33, 26, 26, 21. It's like amazing. And your last attack was a draw trigger. If your last attack was a devil dome, like him, he's 6k. He get an extra 2k from the skill of the power flicker, so he's 8k. 8k, getting 10k from him, so that's 18. 5k from him, so that's 23. 23 divided by 2, or multiplied by 2, because he multiplied his power when attacking. You have enough soul, so you soul blast 1, and he will be from 23 to 46. So the last attack will be 46. And that's the thing with this deck. It's really crazy. It's amazing how much numbers that you could make, and it's all depending on looping the frozen ogle with the power flicker and the misery. So those are the 3 cards that you really want to loop. If you have like 2 frozen ogles in your hand and a power flicker and a misery and a tier, then you have a lot of attacks that you can make. So yeah, that's actually it for this deck profile. As I said, this combo is not based on playing against clans that could interrupt your plays. Otherwise, you will play it more safely. Like, always have a misery on this side, leave her there, like I did in the combo that I showed you right now. I always leave one misery column ready for action, and you will call and work on one column, and when they like hate round the misery or want to get rid of your starter or anything, you could still get something from your deck which will attack for at least 20, because even your draw trigger, your weakest draw trigger, will attack for 20 because they get the 15k. And then remember, when you attack with the Legion, because your Vanguard, this is still a Legion, when you attack with that, you'll still be able to counterblast 2 and get something from your deck. Maybe you will not get the 16, 17 attacks, but that still work. So this combo that I showed you now could give you 15 till 17 attacks that you loop the tier twice, and you have 4 face-up crane elementals in your G-Gen. But if you have only 3 and you don't have all the right cards in your hand, you could still do the less attacking combo, and that combo uses only 1 tier, and that's when you do 12 attacks. So yeah, you could also do like 10 or 9 attacks, it depends. You could also do stronger attacks. Let's say your opponent is sitting at 3 damage and they got 2 triggers, so their Vanguard is very powerful. So attacking with 24, 26 is only 1 card for them to defend. You could like attack multiple times with the Devil Dome just to let them discard even more. Or you could also play Mayhem Tiger in this deck to replace the Devil Dome. That will cost them a lot because you can build up soul in this deck. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. This was a combo video, a fast combo video on the ogles, like how the deck works a little bit. And if you want to see another combo video in the future, we will do that as well. Thanks for watching guys, until next time.
Crushing the meta.